Hello, Algebra students. Today we are going to look at section 3.4, which is solving equations with variables on both sides. Now I'm fresh out of clown suits, which was a request earlier, but I did find a tennis ball. So I'm just going to see if I can toss the tennis ball and solve equations at the same time, and we'll pretend that I'm practicing to be a clown. So we have variables on both sides, 9a's on one side, 4a's on the other. So our goal is to get both of the variables on the same side and both of the constants on the other side. And one of the things that I want to look to is what can I do to make sure that my coefficient of the variable ends up to be positive. So since 9a is bigger than 4a, I want to move the 4a to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 4a from both sides first. And that gives me 15 equals, because those cancel out, 5a minus 5. Now, I'm going to add 5 to both sides because I need to get the variable by itself. So then I end up with 20 equals 5a. And now you know how to solve this one. We divide both sides by 5. And a equals 4. Now let's try it out. 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 plus 15 is 31. 9 times 4 is 36, and 36 minus 5 is 31, so 31 equals 31. Our answer is correct. Our next problem we have is 3b plus 7 equals 8b plus 2. So once again, I want to look for my largest variable, and that happens to be 8b. So I'm going to try to keep 8b where it is, and I'm going to move the 3b. So I'm going to subtract 3b from both sides because it's positive over here, so I need to subtract it. And that ends me with 7 equals 5b plus 2. And now we go back to our two-step equations where we have to, excuse me, do SADMEP first. So I subtract 2 from both sides. And I get 5 equals 5b, divide both sides by 5, so b equals 1. I put the tennis ball away because, sometimes clowns do magic. And I'm going to introduce to you a little bit of magic that can be found in math. So, we first start out with our equation, 4t minus 12 equals 6 times the quantity of t plus 3. So the first thing we have to do is the distributive property. So nothing changes over here, so I write it back down. And I do 6 times t, which is 6t, and 6 times 3, which is positive 18. Now, here's where the magic comes in. What you haven't realized until now is that the equal sign is magic. Now, I could subtract 4t from both sides, and yes, that works. But something else that works is the magic equal sign. The magic equal sign says that if I take the 4t and I move it to the other side, the sign of the 4t changes when it crosses the equal sign. The equal sign performs its magic, and the sign changes. So this becomes minus 4t. So now I'm left with negative 12 equals 6t minus 4t, which is 2t plus 18. I'm going to say that again. Anytime you cross the equal sign, your sign changes. So let's practice that with the 18. The 18 is positive. But when you move it across the equal sign, it becomes negative 18. And so now I have negative 18 minus 12, which is negative 30, equals 2t. And now I divide both sides by 2. And I get t equals negative 15. Excuse me. Our next problem, where we're going to demonstrate that same magic again, is 4 times the quantity of w plus 3 equals w minus 13. So the first thing we have to do again is distributive property. So 4 times w is 4w. 4 times positive 3 is positive 12 equals w minus 13. Now, where is our largest variable? It's right here. So I want to leave it there. I'm going to move this w over here. Well, this w is positive. So when I magically cross the equal sign, it becomes negative. So I end up with 3w plus 12 equals negative 13. Except that I wrote the problem down wrong. That's supposed to be a 5. So we're going to change that to a 5. Another little bit of magic. 3 becomes 5. Now I'm going to take this 12 and I'm going to move it to the other side, and it becomes minus 12. So I get 3w equals negative 27. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. W equals negative 9. Magic. Now I have my tennis ball back. And there's still magic. So what I want you to do is to write this problem down in your composition book and solve it. You can either do it where you subtract something from both sides, or you can use the magic so that when you cross the equal sign, the sign changes.